Hey guys, welcome to your weekly wellness education session. So, today we're going to talk about how thoughts create emotions. At any given time, into our senses, we are taking in between 200 and 600 billion bits of information per second. Our brains don't have the capacity to focus on that. We can actually only focus on 2,000 bits of information per second. So, the brain has to do something with all that information, so it creates filters. So, we do three things: we distort reality based on our own internal world. We delete information that does not pertain to us or that is not relevant to us, and we generalize. So when we generalize, the brain creates concepts. So for example, every morning when you wake up and you brush your teeth, you can look at your toothbrush and the brain already knows how many times a day you have to brush your teeth, how to brush your teeth, and the consequences of not brushing your teeth. All of that is compartmentalized into a general pocket of information so that we can free up our capacity to pay attention to new incoming information. So the filters that we use, the distort, the delete, and the generalize, to condense this massive amount of information into the 2,000 bits of information that we are able to focus on or to pay attention to or to process, is very much linked to our internal world. So our past experiences, our belief systems, the programming that we've had since we were a child, our values, and our narrative or the story we tell ourselves about ourselves over and over again. In other words, our identity. Our identity very much determines what information we pay attention to, in other words, what we focus on, what thoughts we think, the meaning we give to information that is coming into our senses, and then as a result of that, the brain proteins or the brain connections that we grow. So when the brain grows the protein connections, we have an electrochemical reaction that takes place. And each electrochemical reaction has a certain amount of electromagnetic charge that goes into the brain and into all the cells of the body. And different emotions have different electrochemical reactions, which also have different levels of electromagnetic charge or energy. So when you think about emotions, I want you to think about how much charge or energy you're giving your body. And I also want you to think about spiraling up or spiraling down. So if you look at the emotions scale of awareness, you will see that there are below the bottom line, there are lower emotions, lower energy emotions. Above the bottom line, there are higher energy emotions. And the more time we spend in each of these zones will determine how much energy we have in our bodies. And also it will determine our emotional state, or the state from which we make decisions, solve problems, and behave. So your exercise for this week, I want you to print out the attached emotions guidance spiral and then identify the emotions on the emotions spiral that you feel at least 3 times a day. Make a note of the predominant emotional state you find yourself in daily, and then also note the thoughts that are linked to those emotions that you are feeling every day. Notice how much energy you have in your body at the time that you are taking note of your emotions and the thoughts that are linked to your emotions. And then I want you to do this for a week so that you can identify your most consistent or reoccurring thoughts and where you find yourself predominantly on the emotion spiral.